students. Today we are going to discuss the part B from the chapter 3, that's a style. Already we have thoroughly discussed few important points that will help you a lot to compose an essay in an effective way. Few more points to be discussed in this chapter and in this session, and that will finally help you to make in an effective way. I hope that these points will help you a lot, and you will also try to put into the practice these ways for making your essay an effective one. Let's try to study and understand in detail.
To represent an idea, an action, or a state. Imagery in the sense they use some types of images, but these images are created by using the varieties of the words and vocabularies. Let's see. Imagery means the language that produces pictures in the minds of the readers. It helps to enliven what you are and makes it more interesting. Use of imagery can make the narrative alive and dramatic. When you wanted to create some pictures through your writings, we are using the different varieties of the sentences and the words that will definitely make your narratives very alive and dramatic ones, which will appeal to the sense of the readers. Here look at the examples. You can understand that which one will give the sense of imagery into the sentence. Compare this both and you will understand that which one is the more interesting to do your example. The passenger stormed the bus, and the same sentence is written, the passengers pushed themselves into the bus. Look at the first example. When you word stormed, it shows or gives or create a picture of storm in our mind when we read the sentence. The passengers stormed the bus. That is an imagery. The same sentence we can write in a plain English, that is, the passengers pushed themselves into the bus. So it will not have that much effect because it doesn't use the imagery into that. That's why the first one is more effective, more informative, and more interesting, which gives a visual imagery to us. That is the creativeness of the writer. Look at the second example. The sun suddenly burst from behind a cloud. Burst, when you read, it will give the proper effect of imagery to us, and we'll just imagine something about bursting. The common sentence, the sun suddenly appeared from behind the cloud. This is a usual sentence which does not give any sense to the reader. That's what the imagery we can bring out into the styles and make it more informative our writing. Take a look at one more example here, that is this. I could hear the popping and crackling as mom dropped the bacon into the frying pan, and soon the salty, greasy smell wafted towards me. If you read these expressions, you can imagine that there is something being cooked into the kitchen, and you will have in front of you the bacon cooked by mother. So automatically the picture of bacon emerges in front of your eyes. This is called as imagery. Fourth example we have, fourth element, that is using idiomatic expressions. We can use the items into the sentence patterns to make it more interesting ones, but using many idioms makes it a more hard for understandings and very monotonous. So we have to use it wisely. For examples, idiomatic expressions are expressions peculiar to a language. These must be used judiciously, means wisely. If you know many, it doesn't mean that you can use everywhere the idioms. You have to use in a wisely in a sentence to bring out the particular effect. Look at some ordinary expressions that can be exchanged with the idiomatic expressions. For example, to disregard, to turn a deaf ear to. Cheerful, in high spirits. Look at with the help of example cheerful. The dancers came in a cheerful mood to perform. The same sentence we can use with the idiomatic expressions. The dancers were in a high spirits to perform their performance. So this is how we can try to use the idiomatic expressions. Make sure that it must not be too many into the writings. to have a meaning not apparent on the surface, means to read between the lines. Here is some assignments for you. You can just try to take a look at the proverbial expressions and their meanings that can be used into the sentence, and we can try to match it out, and we can understand that these are some of the proverbs of the idioms can be used into the sentence and replace the common sentence and some extent and bring out the good effect of writing. Here we can try to match it out. The answers are there. Try to take a look at that and learn some more proverbial and the idioms for your widely used into the writing that will bring a good effect. Look at the second exercise in assignment. Language is the most exciting tool of communication. We must choose the word to produce the desired effect. Means already we have studied this is one of the good style of writing in English. So we need to be very careful enough to use the word, and then we can make a proper writing. Here is one example. Let's see what we have to do in that. The word God is often used in such a general way that it has little real meaning. Write following passage with each God replaced by a more exact words. You may make necessary changes. In this passage there are words underlined. These are got. This is a common use of got, but this word can be replaced with the proper word to make the passage more meaningful. Here I have solved a few. Remaining you can try to replace it, and if you want, make some necessary changes in the sentences. Let's take a look at it. I got up early this morning. Got up, we have replaced got with the wake. And quickly got dressed. I got straight down to the breakfast and soon got ready for school. I got my usual bus. Here got means I boarded, which got me to school in time. Got means took. So these are some of the gots we have replaced with the proper words which are suitable into this passage. So same thing you can try with the remaining gots. Wherever possible, try to change the word got with the proper word. Look at the third exercise. Sometimes we do extend the sentences with the unnecessary paragraphs or the phrases, and we can cut these phrases and use a single word for that. That is called as the proper use of language. Look at here are some italicized phrases that can be replaced with the words given in the box. Try to use a proper word for the phrases used into the sentence. Few have been solved for you. Remaining you can try to solve it. So you can use the dictionary for that. Look at the first one. The antiques of Raj Kapoor are not able to be imitated. Or not able to be imitated means not able to be copied. For copied, the one word from the box is inimitable, which cannot be copied. Second, the speaker was not able to express himself fluently, means was not good enough in his fluency of expressions. For that we have the word inarticulate. The voice of the lecturer was so faint that it was not able to be heard. The sound which was not able to be heard, for that we have the word inaudible. And the fourth one, the incriminating evidence was not able to be burnt, which was not able to be burnt, for that incombustible. And fifth one, the highway blocked with the snow was not able to be transferred, which was not able to be used properly. So for that we are having impassable. So remaining try to complete by using the words given in the brackets. So that's all. The chapter 3 is section B, that is writing good writing in a good style in English. You are listening to Asif sir. Try to complete the given exercise. That's the end of the chapter. Thank you.